Hello, 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 and welcome to Wake Up Legendary. My name is Joanne. I am the Director of Marketing here at Legendary Marketer. And of course, we have another awesome guest for you today. And before I bring her on, because I know you're all going to love her, let's do a couple pieces, little housekeeping pieces first. So if you are new to watching Wake Up Legendary, or you just have never enrolled and would like to get a notification of when we go live each morning, all you need to do, I put it on the screen as well, is text the letters WUL to 813-296-8553. What will happen Monday through Friday, a couple minutes after we hit that live button, you'll get a notification with a direct link to join us live in the Facebook, so you can hop in and be a part of the conversation, catch all the information, tidbits, strategies, motivation, inspiration, and all that good stuff live right there along with us as we bring on that guest. So all you need to do, once again, text the letters WUL to 813-296-8553. And if you want a cool t-shirt like I got on right now, your own legendary hat to throw down when you have a win like Dave, just head over to BeLegendary.shop, grab yourself some legendary merch right there. And lastly, if you are in a cool, different niche, you're super excited, you want to share it, everything that you've learned with all of us here, and would like to be considered to be a guest on the show, head over to legendarymarketer.com/featured, fill out the form, and you just might be a future guest on the show as well. All right. So without further ado, please welcome Gaby to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for coming on. Where are you joining us from?
Whidbey Island, Washington, USA.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Washington State, West Coast, Pacific Coast time.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
love that.
from me.
Early like me.
Yeah.
Sweet. So I read over your questionnaire. We got a lot to cover today, and I'm super stoked about everything you've been doing. You are young, but you've had a ton of experience already, which is really cool. And let's start at this beginning. How did you find Legendary?
I think that I found it like a lot of people find it just through social media, scrolling, and I just found a video of a single mom talking about she did a course and learned a lot from it, and I was like, I want to learn a lot too. And I hadn't heard about the skill before, and so I was really interested, and it seemed like something that I could try and do and be successful in. So I was like, I'll learn what I can and apply what I can.
Oh, I love that. Now I'm going to
Yeah.
go, share what you can, but you did share in your questionnaire when you found Legendary, you were kind of in a little bit of a struggle that was going on in life. Can you share a little bit more about that, what you're comfortable with, of course, with all of
Oh
that?
yeah, of course. Yeah, so I graduated college December 2022 basically, and then by January of 2023, I was kind of finding out that I wouldn't really have a stable place to live in because my parents were moving into a housing situation that I wasn't really welcomed to basically. And so I moved into my boyfriend's dorm for like 2 months.
Wow.
And then I'm not sure if that's legal or not, but do what
I'm
you
pretty
gotta
sure
do.
it's not legal by the rules of the dorm, but that's what happened and it's all good.
Things happen. And then I was there for 2 months, and then I was living in like my friend's guest bedroom / storage room on like an air mattress for a month, and then I moved into like my best friend's parents' house, and all the while through all that whole process, I was learning this skill online. I was just every day. I was like, please get me out of this situation. This will help me. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Did you have any concerns, or did you just feel like this is like rock bottom? I have nowhere else to go except up, so I'm just going in for it?
No, that's exactly what I thought. I just had a gut feeling that this was the way to go, and I had plenty of experience already with being an employee, working 9 to 5s, and working online a little bit too. But I was just done being an employee, and I was like, this is my ticket to being my own boss and living life the way that I want to live it, rather than letting a boss dictate when I can spend time with family. And so this is the way to go. Yeah.
Wow, I love it. So, how is it going? Do you feel like you are your own boss? Do you feel like this is, how has it been since you started?
Yes, I definitely feel like I'm my own boss. Obviously, there are pros and cons to being your own boss because now I'm figuring out, you gotta respect yourself and not work 24/7 because then once you have the freedom to work and everything, it's like you just kind of want to work on the passion projects all the time. But I have to have my boundaries with it. But it's pretty great. I mean, I'm very passionate about it, so I just don't want to stop doing it. And I get so inspired every day by new projects that I can turn into profit. So I really enjoy it so much.
What do you think your biggest roadblock was when you first started?
Um, I think that the roadblock was staying consistent even when there's no profit in the beginning. And I think I was like posting on my socials 3 to 5 times a day, every single day for 5 months with like basically no profit. And that was not easy, but I was like, I just kept on reminding myself, don't stop before the miracle happens. Don't stop before the miracle happens. And then on like month 6, I got my first high ticket commission, and it like snowballed from there, and it just kept on coming in. And I was like, okay, oh boy, I guess I'm just gonna stay consistent, and things just keep on happening. And I was mind blown. I didn't think that I'd be someone that could accomplish all of that. So it definitely brought some confidence to myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're sharing, you gained more confidence once the money started coming in, but there's a lot of people that definitely quit early on. I love that you didn't. Quitting wasn't an option for you. It wasn't on the table. So talk to us more when you were in, we like to call it the valley of despair, that period where you have to just keep doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
How did you how did you motivate yourself? What did you do daily so that you kept showing up with 3 to 5 pieces of content, growing your knowledge, doing all the things during that period where you weren't receiving the result that you were hoping for yet?
So for me, it was two things. It was like obviously changing your mindset around it, but then so it's the mindset and the strategy. So I changed my mindset from being like, oh, this is something I have to do every day. Oh my gosh, I'm so far away from accomplishing what I want. I'm like, there's so many steps to take. And I changed that into like, oh, it's part of my routine. It's just something that I do during my day. I wake up and hopefully the night before I had a post ready. So I wake up and I post and I make sure my caption's all good. And I send it out and then I'm like, oh, it's 12. Time to post. It's like, but then obviously that sounds so like easy when like the reality is, you've got to spend some, back office time researching and like strategizing. And for me, that was like just getting inspiration from other people that were in my niche and seeing what they were doing, seeing what was working for them, and seeing like what resonated with me, what kind of stuff I was like inspired by in the post, because there was a lot of different content options, categories to do. And I was like, no, 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 yes, I want to dive into that. So the more you do it, the more, inspired you get by other ideas, and then it just snowballs and just repeat content and yeah.
Okay, a lot was shared there. So let's start with one pretty big nugget is you released the sale. Almost basically you released like having that be your main focus.
Yeah.
And it just went back to, and I've talked about this plenty in a variety of ways, it goes back to serving. All right, how can I serve? And then also, how can I test different types of content that I've seen out there? You were scrolling and doing research with your marketing glasses on and not as a consumer, making notes.
Mm-hmm.
What did you like? What did you not like from other people's content? You weren't
Yeah.
copying, but you were modeling, and you were
Mm-hmm.
taking the parts that you loved that you felt your audience would also like.
Yeah.
And you applied those strategies and then went back and looked at the numbers, what was working, what wasn't, that sort of thing. And you just kept
Yeah.
going and saying, no matter what, I'm posting, I'm going to try different things, I'm going to test, and we're just going to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, did you have those moments where you're like, when is this going to happen for me?
The whole time, but
Right.
you said it really well the first time. It's like you just detach yourself from the profit, because in the beginning I was like, this is just gonna be all the profit that I need, and then once like reality was setting in that it's not overnight success, it takes work and consistency, I was
Mhm.
like, okay. And then like 2 months in, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna detach myself from any results that I'm wanting. I'm just gonna post like out of passion and not out of like really needing results. But obviously, it's like there's the engagement results that I was looking for, but not the
Right.
money results. I was just like, I'm going to do this in a way that makes me enjoy it, because then
Mhm.
the viewers are going to see that I enjoy it, and it's not going to be so copy and paste like other accounts or whatever. And I just, I was posting all the time, so I was seeing the statistics of what wasn't working and what was working. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, that's working. I'll just post more of that, and then it just kept on going with that. Yeah.
Right. And there's only one of you. And if you are cookie cutter out there of just copying and really not having a reason why you're copying, except that person got more views, so I want those
Yeah.
views, it's not
Yeah.
going to work. One,
Mm,
you're not identifying and connecting with your audience, with your personality in what brings you joy. Because if
mhm.
it doesn't bring you joy, you're
Doesn't
not going
matter.
to attract people that are also excited to be in your circle.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. I
And
think that, sorry.
go ahead, for sure.
I just think that like every person is so unique, and when you decide to be so copy cutter, you're just taking away all the value that you could potentially offer. And so it's like everybody's personality is so different from the rest, and you have some type of life story or life experience that will inspire someone, and you just have to get into all the details and think about your past and think about your life and see what you can put out there and inspire, and someone's gonna see it and know that you're different from the rest. There's
Yeah,
billions. Someone will see.
someone will, especially if you keep going.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people are watching and they're watching and they may not have hit that follow button yet, but if they keep watching your content, the platform will start learning, hey, this person is interested, and they're going to keep
Hmm.
showing that person your content.
Yeah.
And eventually they're going to take action. But you got to
Hmm.
keep showing up to be there for them when they're ready. You got to
Yeah.
keep showing up for them to build trust with you over time so that when they're ready to take action, they take it with you and not someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the other
100%.
thing. Consistency has to be there.
Oh yeah.
And because the day you stop, somebody's going to be ready to buy. And if you are not there, if you are not following up with emails, it's not all just about videos. It's also the whole email sequence and all of that piece as well. Um,
Hmm.
when that person is ready to take action, you better be the one that's right in front of them, ready for them to click the button. Otherwise, they're going to click someone else's.
Yeah. I've been seeing that a lot where I'll get messages from people and they're like, "Oh, I've been watching you for so long and I think I'm finally ready to do this." And I'm like, I haven't even seen their profile on engagement. They haven't liked anything, they haven't commented, nothing. They just view it, but they've been doing it for so long. And so it's like they don't have to be liking or commenting or sharing or saving in order to be a person that likes your videos. They finally just pop in and they're like, I'm ready. And I'm like, wow, nice to meet you. Haven't seen you around. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's huge because if they're watching, that's all that matters. If they're connecting with you some in some form or fashion,
Hmm.
they don't necessarily have to engage to become a buyer.
Yeah.
Uh, but we do have to keep showing up to get buyers.
Yeah, exactly.
Something you touched on earlier is huge for me. Dave's talked about it a lot, is, one of the biggest issues that many of us run into, the killer of our businesses, is our own boredom. And we have to, it's not a bad thing to feel like a broken record. It is not a bad thing to feel like you're repeating yourself, because to your audience, you're not. It's just you feeling bored. And you
No, oh my
get
God.
to that place. That is going to kill your business if you get to that place. So talk more about how, when you feel that way, what happens? What were you seeing when you started having those moments where you're like, oh, I'm a broken record right now? And then how did you get yourself out of it?
So I think that it's actually good to be a broken record, because I think that a lot of the viewers, they're seeing dozens and dozens and dozens and hundreds of the same videos or the same niche of content. And it's like, if you in your one account are talking about so many different things, like going from different topics all the time, motivating them, giving them just different tips each day, but then reminding them, hey, this is what I'm offering and this is my product. It's like you're covering so many things and they're already overwhelmed to begin with. If like, to me, I thought it was best for them to just associate you with one thing. Just have your core, one thing. That's it. You don't have to be like, maybe on the stories you can motivate, but with your content, you just need to be like going around the same core topic the whole time, and like, sure, do it in different content like ideas and videos and text, but just reword it differently, but it's just the same topic the whole time. And that's actually when I found the most success, when I stopped going through different like types of content topics, entertainment, but then educating. Like that's so important, but it's like you have to combine it, not separate.
Right.
If you know what I mean. But yeah, I think that it's important, but yeah, it can be boring, but just mixing it up, doing different types of videos and filming all the time. I don't know. I find filming fun. Just be at a random restaurant, just film, and it turns into a video.
Right? Totally. And you can have like the same piece of value. For example, it's 5 tips of something.
Yeah.
You can change the hook for those 5 tips.
Yeah.
So you can have a variety of different hooks. Right there, you have different videos, different pieces of content.
No,
Then you can deliver it where, like, Gaby, maybe you're like a talking head. You're delivering all 5 tips with you talking on camera with a specific call to action. Then you could have all 5 tips as your text on screen and you're doing a voiceover. Or another version is just text on screen with a trending sound and B-roll.
So many options. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Another option is all of your tips are down in the caption, and you're like, your call to action is read the caption below on your video.
Yeah.
And then on top of that piece, you can divide those 5 tips into separate 5 different videos, part 1, part 2, part 3, and then do all those different versions of each part.
Yeah.
So right there with the 5-part tips, you can have 25, 30 different videos.
Yeah, there's your month of content, and you can
even
like, and you can even think of different like words for steps. Like people, like a lot of people have been saying the phrase, "my 5 non-negotiables" for like their topic, and I'm like, that's a good one, because when I see the word non-negotiable on screen, I'm like, ooh, it's something that's like fundamental, required for them. I'm like, ooh, I wonder what it is for them, and I go down and I look, and it's kind of the same content, but they just use the title non-negotiable. It's that hook.
Yep, it is. It's the hook. Test different hooks. That's what you want to model, is see what other people are using as their hook, and then how you can apply it to your audience. Too. You know, that your audience would respond to as well, which is pretty cool. And then on top of that, take that same content, those 5 tips, and write a few emails, add it to your autoresponder sequence.
That's what I need to work on personally. I need to write more emails. I'm so into the reels and everything. I have to work more on my emails, but I'll be taking that tip.
It's a work in progress. There's no such thing as perfect action. It's imperfect action, and you know what you got to add. And one of your best pieces of inspiration when you don't know what to write an email is go back to your content.
Yeah.
Turn those 100%. Into emails. And just keep rolling things out, and it becomes this beautiful synergy that happens. And that's what that's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Dave once said recently on a Wake Up Legendary, and I love this so much, is they're not looking to get married online. They're looking for a hookup. They're looking
Yeah.
for a quick hit. And it's not a quick,
So
it's a
true.
quick hit of value
Yeah.
from someone that they're growing trust with, not to
Mhm.
marry, but they're like, oh, I relate to this person. They
Yeah.
get me. I understand them. They're funny.
Yeah.
They're educating. They're entertaining.
Yeah.
And they're giving me something. They only,
Exactly.
you got to serve. You got to give
Mhm.
them, you got to give them the hookup.
Yeah. No, you can't think of like, what do I want to see? You think of what the follower wants to see, because that was an issue that I was facing in the beginning too, and why I was growing so slowly was I was thinking, oh, what would I want to see? I'm like, no, it's not about you. It's about your followers. Scroll through your following. I was stalking. I was stalking my followers. Click the followers, see what's in their bio, and they're like, dog mom, and I'm like, oh, then calling all dog lovers. This is information for you. It's like you just have to see what your audience is.
Right?
Yeah.
Or one of your B-roll is you may be giving tips again or some piece of value, but your B-roll video is you with your dog.
Yeah. And
Park.
then they're like, oh my
You're
gosh,
not
my dog has
mentioning a dog, but
yeah,
Instagram and TikTok know, oh, there's a dog. I'm going to show this video to dog lovers and see what
exactly.
happens.
Exactly. Yeah. That's,
Right?
yeah.
I think B-roll is more important to connect to your audience than your niche, so to speak,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Moms doing laundry, playing with kids or certain age of
Yeah.
kids. It's
It
hitting a
to relate
specific
to you. Yeah.
audience piece. And that's what it really needs to be about in the video. If there's any text on screen or you're putting all your value in the caption, that B-roll video needs to connect directly to your audience and their other interests in some
Yeah.
way. And that helps the
Mhm.
algorithm
Mhm.
find those people
Yeah.
and for you.
Yeah.
So they
That was
are
another like issue that I faced where it was a problem and I solved it where a majority of my videos in the very beginning it was just of my face and then information. And it's like, that doesn't do much. Like, show them the world, show them what you do day to day basis. Like, it was just me on camera, not doing much. Like, what was I thinking? Just record random stuff. If you're going on a walk with your dog, record the walk. And then that ends up being the real. I don't know. It's so much more simple. It's like, stop
so
overthinking.
you film little clips all day now and just have a bank ready to go when you're ready to bust out some pieces of content. You're like, I got this
Yeah.
whole video library. Which ones am I going to use?
Yeah, it's like a laughing stock in my family now where when we're like out and I bring out the camera, they're like, oh, are you adding your affiliate link? I'm like, you shut up. It's work. It's my job. Yeah, not
Right.
so supportive, but it's a funny bit now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's dive into that piece. So the family's not so supportive. They tease you a little bit.
Hmm.
How do you handle that to not let it bring you down?
I
Or
mean,
has it in the past?
oh yeah, absolutely. Like family influences you a lot, a ridiculous amount. But I mean, my parents have never really like agreed with my path to begin with. My dad was like, "You don't need to go to college to make money," and that's true, 100% true. But in my mindset at the beginning, I was like, "Oh, I want to be able to enter certain rooms where like a woman won't be able to enter the room unless she has a degree." And so I went to college. And then with this, he's like, "What are you doing? You're starting a business?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's this is what it is." He's like, "Oh, that's just advertising." I'm like, way to gaslight it, Dad. Nice. It's like they kind of just stoop it down and they're like, oh, it's not a big deal. And so
Mhm.
they're supportive and they're like, yay, go Gaby. But they're not like, oh, you're doing amazing. It's kind of just like, oh, you made $1,000 in one day. Way to go. I'm like, thanks, Dad. It's an interesting dynamic. Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
seems like you have a pretty solid boundary that it doesn't bother you.
And now, because it's been that dynamic for like a long time, so I'm just used to it. Plus, I have a lot of supportive people in my life, so it's like it fills in the gaps where needed. So it's like I have really wonderful friends, and all of their parents are really wonderful and understand the dynamic as well. So it's like they know where to apply support. Yeah.
Right. That's nice. I love that. And I love that it really feels like to me you have that boundary created. Like they're going to say this. I'm going to be like, whatever, enjoy your life
Yeah.
with that comment. And I'm just going
Yeah,
to
it
keep
doesn't.
doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't matter. They're not your business. They're not your audience. They're not your buyers. Like, it's your business. Your buyers are people that are gonna enjoy you and your presence, and they're gonna appreciate all the value that you have. Your family, if they don't agree, block them. I blocked my friends and my family.
I am all about that. You're on social media and you're starting a business.
Mhm.
You don't have to be friends. They don't have to follow everything that you do. You can still be amazing friends and family in real life with these people.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
if they're the voice in your head that's going to harass you or be a voice that's going to stop you from taking action possibly, they don't need
Mhm.
to see it. They don't need to be a part of it. They don't get an opinion unless they're investing in your business. That's the only time they get an
Absolutely.
opinion. If
Yeah.
they're handing over
Yeah.
money and a big fat
Let's
check.
cough up some. Yeah, that was the same issue I was talking about with my cousin over Thanksgiving. He was starting like a Goodwill outlet reselling Depop account and like making reels about it. And he was like, "Oh, I'm scared to post reels because my friends will judge me." And I'm like, "Block them."
Mhm.
He's like, "What? People just don't think about it. Just block. They don't get the notification that they've been blocked."
No,
Yeah,
they
doesn't
don't
matter.
even know. They won't. And if they're searching out your business social media because they heard it from someone else, that's weird.
Yeah, they're just haters. Cut out
Yeah.
the negativity.
They're obsessed. They're obsessed.
That's it. They want to be you.
They're jealous.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not going to know. They're not going to bring it up. You just move
Yeah.
on. Um,
Yeah.
I once interviewed someone, it was about a year ago, and she said she started all of her social media accounts and she made a list that same day and it had like 60 people on it that she was like, all of these people are an immediate block before she posted her first video on anything.
Yeah.
And she felt really good about that. Like it was
Yeah.
just like, okay, now I've created my safe space
Yeah.
for me to make mistakes, for me to
Yeah.
grow, for me to
Yeah.
test things without real life in person judgment.
Yeah. You're not being mean. You're just having respectful boundaries with yourself. If you don't set down those boundaries, then people are going to take an inch and take a mile and just jab at you. And then you're going to feel sorry about it later. I wish I had done the thing that that woman did because I did that in slow motion. I didn't block until it was affecting me in real life where my parents were like, "Oh, I found this." And my friend's parents were asking about it and they were like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, what's your Instagram?" And then they told me and I'm like, "Blocked." Yeah. Immediately. I just asked what their Instagram is or my friend, they were like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, put in your Instagram, I'll follow you." And then I'm like, "Blocked." Yeah. It sounds mean, but you gotta do what you gotta do in order to support yourself.
I love it. It's a little savage the way you did it because you didn't go search them. You're like, oh, can you please tell me your Instagram? Like
I
you're
mean,
interested.
I don't know. I couldn't think of the names, and
But
I was like, "Oh, that
man, that's
coworker I didn't think of." Yeah,
right. I mean,
yeah,
that is how you protect your space, though. That is
mhm,
how you create good boundaries to ensure that quitting is never on the table and that you're not letting anyone else influence your decisions, that you're still doing everything, you're taking actions just like you need to without any opinions,
mhm,
and you can keep stepping forward without
mhm.
that distraction because that's really what it is. It's a
Yeah,
distraction if somebody's going to be negative, and they're being
yeah,
negative because one, they don't understand, two, they don't want to understand,
yeah,
three, you're doing something new and changing and it scares them
100%. Yeah,
because they wanted to stay in their ugly comfort zone and complain with someone on a weekend
oh
about
my
their
God.
9 to 5
You
and
could not explain
complain
it better.
about life and complain about this and
Yeah,
complain about not being able to travel. And now you're doing something about it so that you can't sit and commiserate with them.
exactly.
So they're
Yeah,
looking to bring you down.
yeah,
People only put down people above them. They don't put down people below them.
yeah,
And that's an
exactly.
important thing to remember. If somebody is
Mhm,
talking shit, trolling you,
mhm.
they're looking up at you.
Yeah, and there's only so much mental battles you can have with yourself that having so many negative outside influences, it like overwhelms it. Because it's like even my own mental battles, like I had some supportive family members that they were there for me the whole time, and it was just one person being like, "You're gonna do it, you're gonna do it." And if I hadn't had that one person also to support me, oh my gosh, my mental battles were crazy. Every single day I was like, "I'm not gonna make it, I'm not gonna make it, I'm not gonna make it," and then they were like, that's your attack negativity mind. Don't listen to them. They don't care about you. You just, because if those outside influences come in, then you're screwed. So just don't let it happen.
Right. And
Yeah.
then don't allow those voices to become the bully in your head.
Yeah.
Is really
Yeah.
what it is. Even in, and I've shared this on Decade in a Day, and I see this in our groups. Even they're coming on to ask a question about their funnel. There's some issue with their funnel, and they start out with, "I'm so sorry, I'm asking this question right now. I must be stupid. I can't find it." They're
Mm-hmm.
literally starting their post for help with a negative about themselves and being their bully because they've heard that from other places. And you, every single one of you is worthy to have your question answered. Every
Yeah.
single one of you is worthy to get the information you need. And
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to be a bully to yourself. And
Yeah.
you're not stupid, you're not dumb, you're not this, you're not that. You're
Yeah.
amazing. So just post your question about the funnel and let's help you.
Yeah. And replace the sorry with the thank you. So instead of saying, "Oh, I'm sorry for asking the question," just ask the question and then be like, "Thank you so much for helping to change the whole game for me." Don't be like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry for existing." Like,
Right.
no.
And think about it this way, guys. If you find yourself talking that way with that self talk, imagine what's coming across in the content that you create.
True. True.
But if you, like Gaby, put into practice, even if you don't believe it fully, but you put into practice, I'm gonna serve, I'm gonna say thank you, this was a huge help, and be in that space of positivity.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine how your content is that you put out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different. I promise you, it will vary just on how you spoke to yourself that day before you filmed that video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you
So
don't show that you respect yourself, how do you expect that they're gonna respect you?
yeah, that's huge. I mean,
Yeah.
before you sit down and film, look yourself in the mirror, tell yourself that you're a badass or whatever language you prefer, that you're
Mhm.
amazing, that you're
Yeah.
phenomenal, that you're worthy of your goals, that you're going to go
Mhm.
after it and you're going to have some fun, put on some music, get pumped, get excited, and then go create content to serve.
Yeah. Bulk content creation, that's the way to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I love bulk content creation. It's
Mhm.
a mixed bag, and for some people it works great, for others not so much. But
Yeah.
it's a really good thing, especially if you're busy and if you are short on time, have a 9 to 5 that is way more hours than a 9 to 5, have
Mhm.
kids, crazy schedules. So talk to us about what that looks like. Break down your whole batching schedule and how you do it.
I think just whenever I'm out and about doing errands or doing random things, I'll just like put the phone down on the ground randomly, click play, and I'll just like walk. That's content. Like literally just do like or just record where you are. Oh, or just like ask a supportive family member, "Hey, can you hold the phone real quick?" And then click play and walk around and walk back to the camera. That's content. Like my mom is so confused by this whole thing and judges it a bit. But when we're out sometimes, like meeting them up randomly for food or something, and I just say, "Can you hold the camera real quick?" I just put it in her hand. I go, "Click." She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal." And I just walk away. And she's just like holding the phone, like, and I'm like, "You're my tripod. Thank you."
I love that even though your mom is not so supportive, she still is, like, she's still willing to hold the camera.
Yeah,
And you kind of troll her at the same time. You're like, don't worry about it. Just hold it for a second. You can make funny faces. You can judge me. I don't care.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
need this for myself and my business, and I'm going to get it. And I don't care what you think about it. and you're going to help me do it.
Yeah.
I freaking love this.
Yeah.
I
The
love
most
that whole
random
mindset.
B-roll will be your content. Just like when you're out and about doing something random, the most random video is what people like to watch. They don't want to see you go. Well, sometimes, depending on the content, but it's like when you're out, it's like just record.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and some pointing videos are good, but you also don't want to be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, exactly. You like,
gotta have some fun with it. Gotta
yeah,
have some energy. Gotta
there's a
pump
place for
yourself up,
everything. Yeah.
right? If you're gonna be looking at the camera and engaging directly,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have that energy with it for sure.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You're just dropping gold nugget after gold nugget after gold nugget after gold nugget. Everyone that came on, if you came on late, you got to start this interview from the start for sure.
Yeah.
So before we head out today, share what's your advice for someone brand new in the challenge and they're in a full state of overwhelm. I don't know what to do. I don't know what niche to go into. I don't know if I can show myself on camera. I don't know if I can create a funnel. They're all in the I don't knows and the what ifs land right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's your piece of advice for them to get through that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the way that they're feeling is exactly the way that every single person was feeling when they first started. Even the people that have 500,000 followers, they were in your exact position. You're not feeling like you're not in the shadows. Like you're gonna get through it because everybody else did. And I mean, just don't dumb yourself down. Don't think, oh, it's so techie, I'm not gonna understand it, or oh, like I don't know what niche means. Like just dive in and like follow step by step and take whatever instruction anyone has to give you whatever type of guide that you're watching. Just like take the notes and follow the instruction, and then send emails and ask for assistance if you need. Don't say help. Just say assistance, because help feels so negative. Just say, I need support, I need assistance. Like, that's it. And just reach out and don't be alone in it. Because there were many, many times where I was like, I'm so confused by this. This sales funnel stuff, this techie stuff is way beyond me. And I don't want to reach out because that's so embarrassing and it's so weak to reach out for assistance. And oh, they're probably so busy. They don't have the time for silly little me. No, they've got the time. You're supported. There's people out there that will help. You just gotta go find them. But yeah, it's hard in the beginning. But it's very, very hard. For me personally.
Why do you think this is really interesting? And I have my own theories, but I want to hear yours. Why do you think people feel like they can't ask for help? Why do they feel guilty about it? Why is there guilt attached? Like, oh, they're going to think I'm stupid. They're this. I shouldn't ask this question. I'm dumb because I'm asking this question. Where do you think that comes from?
Maybe it's the way that you're raised, or just, it's honestly like the little experiences that you've had in life. Like, there's been so many situations where I ask for help one time when I'm younger and it's not given to me. And so I think, oh, asking for help isn't going to get the results I need. So I'm not going to ask for help. I'm just going to figure it out on my own. Like, one time when you're younger can make the difference for like your whole future. So it might just be something that they were raised with. But ironically, when someone asks me for help, I love it. I'm just showered in joy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to help someone. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. People love to help out. They love to think that they're like being, they're contributing something to someone. So it's like when you ask for assistance and for support, just know that you might be making that person's day. That person is feeling like, worthy of helping someone else. So it's like we're all on the same end of the stick. Just ask for help. Do
it. And I will say there's better ways to ask for help than some. It's not a great plan to reach out and be like, I know nothing, I need all the help, and I'm not getting it, and I'm a failure, and I'm a loser. And it's like, okay, so where are you right now? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, what exactly?
Yeah.
Step when you just need to be like, okay, so I'm at this stage setting up this, and this is not working. Then it's easier for us to help you. It's easier for anyone you reach out to help you when they know exactly what the roadblock and question is,
Yeah.
without this big general blanket, I need all the help and all the things, but it's like, where exactly are you in all the
Yeah,
things?
I get so many DMs from people. They tell their whole life story to me, and then at the end, they're like, "Help me," and I'm like, well, I'm not a therapist. I don't know how to digest all of that, but like they give the whole life story instead of being like, "Hey, I need assistance with this, and this. I don't understand this. What do you do?" It's like just send a message being like, "I'm having trouble with this. Where can you support? Do you maybe need to direct me to someone else to better help, or do you have the info for me?" Like, I know that it's part of the context that people are in a rut in my life, and in their life, as was I. Like, I was in a rut, but it's like, just get to the point. Explain, that's all right to explain your situation, but just ask for what you need exactly. Just be specific.
Right. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to justify why you're asking for help. And that's just ask for help. And it's okay. It's a safe space. You don't have to like prove why you need help.
Exactly. I think that's why they do that. Yeah.
Right? It's you're already deserving, guys. You're already deserving. You don't have to justify. You don't have to prove it. Nobody's sitting here behind the scenes judging.
Yeah.
Person A, person B, who deserves help more.
Yeah.
We're gonna give it to you. So just go after that. And don't get stuck in the muck of, worry. Just ask that you need. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that definitely sounds like it's the concern, I guess, where they think they're not deserving of it and they have to rationalize the fact that they need to be like prioritized over the whole bunch. Like, no, everyone's being prioritized. It's not one over the other. There's enough hours in the day to help people.
Yep, totally. And I love that. And people want to help.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't want to help, then you may not be talking to the right person.
Yeah.
Reach out to Legendary. Don't respond to cold DMs. Somebody that reached out to you first. It's different if you reach out to them. But if they reach out to you first, they're getting ready to sell you something and talk about something else. So that's bad marketing. I don't want to learn my marketing skills or build a business from someone that does cold DMing. That to me right there is your red flag that you should not be in any type of working relationship or trust that person. If they cold DM you, it's a bad situation. One, it's either a spam or a fake account, or two, they really don't know what they're doing when it comes to marketing. So I shouldn't be listening and learning from them.
Yeah, I get a lot of those DMs from people just like reaching out to share their service, and I'm like, thanks for the offer, but I don't need it. Bye.
Right.
Like, if I needed it, I'd go find it.
Right. There is better marketing techniques out there. We here do not teach cold DMing for a reason. And don't respond to cold DMs. Don't go down that path. It's not going to be helpful for you, and it's going to just disappoint you in the end. I promise you it will.
Yeah. I've gone down the rabbit hole, believe me. And boy, was I disappointed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just time wasted.
Well, this has been a fantastic interview. You got to come back and meet Dave for sure. I'm so excited. You are just a wealth of wisdom, which I enjoy. A pleasure to chat with. And keep me posted on how it's going, how business is going, and let's definitely get you back on the show in the next few months.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved this. This was awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, before I pop you off, sorry guys, I was so enthralled in the conversation, I forgot to share her Instagram. And I want you guys to all give Gaby a follow on Instagram at Side Hustle W Gaby. So it's Side Hustle with Gaby, but it's just a W. So go find her on Instagram. I'm so sorry for everyone asking in the comments.
Be careful about the spelling, because there's a lot of people trying to like fake the account. So there's one account that's got like 12,000 followers and that has 2 L's, and I can't seem to get rid of them. So just check that spelling really carefully.
All right, guys, check the spelling. If there's 2 L's in hustle, that is a fake account. Don't follow it. Side Hustle W Gaby. So SIDEHUSTLE W Gavie. It's on the screen. If it's not exactly like you see on the screen, you are under a fake account. There are a lot of fake accounts out there. You
Yeah.
always need to go back, and the fake accounts cold DM, guys. They'll
Yeah.
reach out to you first. If they reach out to you first, it's most likely a fake account. So keep that in mind. But go give Gaby a follow. And I apologize for not getting it up sooner.
No, you're good.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. As always, we will be back tomorrow with another episode of Wake Up Legendary. Gaby, thank you for coming on the show today. And
Thank
everyone,
you.
have a fantastic day. And as always, stay legendary. Peace.
Bye.